Good evening, junkies. Welcome to EminiJunkie.com, your ass trading mentor's free trading video for Wednesday, October 19th, 2011. Today we had a total of 10 executable trade signals for a max potential of 49 ES ticks. This video is for educational purposes only, is intended to highlight our high probability trade setups and give you a feel for the quantity of trades taken each trading day using this approach. A full trading plan and daily live trading room can be accessed at our website at EminiJunkie.com. Okay, we opened up this morning basically at 1825, and we were right near the closing point we had yesterday. We had a small little gap, and you can see as soon as the market opened, they quickly filled their half gap, went up, filled their 4 o'clock gap, and pushed up near their 4:15 gap. During that process, on this quick move up, you can see how we kind of went parabolic. That set up an extension long. That hit targets 1 and targets 2 for 7 ticks to the upside. Then we came down equally as fast for an extension short. Targets 1 and targets 2, 9 ticks to the downside. Now, typically when we're in a range environment like we were in this morning, there's ways to play on the edges of these ranges versus taking all of these default signals. On these videos, I show you every signal, knowing that if you just take the signals as they present themselves, how you end up. But in the room, we actually teach you to trade up near these edges. And we were actually forming a wedge for a good portion of this morning. The market kept trying to break out. They made about 3 failed attempts to break out the upper edge of that downward trend line this morning, and they couldn't. And ultimately, they sold off this afternoon on their last attempt to break that. So we had the signal to the downside. The market pushed down at the 10 o'clock news time. You see, we had this quick push up, and we actually had a signal long as we came across our gold line, and we were run completely over. That was a T0 minus 14. They found support, and then we started kind of creating a kind of a horizontal base, if you will, here, and they bounced off that level, went up into a signal short entry, and then they didn't follow through, and they started doing a little bit of expansion to the upside. So a T1 stop out on that particular move. That traded into a signal long, which did hit targets 1 and targets 2 as they went up, and ultimately filled that 4:15 closing time frame gap. And then they went into a little bit of a chop here, a little bit of period of sideways consolidation, but it did set up a signal to the downside. We were able to capitalize on that. Targets 1 and targets 2 were met for 6 ticks, went into a signal long. Targets 1 and targets 2 were met for 7 ticks, and then there was this breakdown of this little consolidation range, and the move was so fast it actually came up and hit our entry level of 2275, but we were not able to capitalize on that. Just one candle there, no fill. It went on and hit its target. But for those of you that follow us in the room, we did have a KISS set up and a second chance entry, if you will, that did hit its full target to the downside right here as it pulled back at 1112, but not part of our typical trading plan setups. That's something we do in our trading room. And then during the lunchtime dead zone, we do not trade. That's the red area on the chart. We wait until after 1:15, and at which time we did get a new setup that did produce targets 1 and targets 2 to the downside for 6 ticks. We take a very small profit target based off of the way that the market was behaving there. If you did have multiple contracts and you trailed the gold line down, which is a technique we teach, this market ran down from that entry point around 1220, and it didn't cross back across our gold line until all the way down here at about 1208. So more than a 10-point move had you had an opportunity to trail one on that particular move. But nonetheless, we did have another signal set up, targets 1 and targets 2 for 7 ticks to the upside, followed by targets 1, targets 2 to the downside. So just a fantastic day, especially for starting out in that tight range that it did as it was trying to break that upper trend line. Our signals were on our side today. 10 trades, 49 ES ticks. I want to thank you for watching. For more details on this plan, including all the chart setups, or to join our live trading room and video newsletter, please visit EminiJunkie.com or just simply click the link at the top of the screen. Thanks, and make it a great day.